What's up, YouTube land? Zeno Gaming here, and welcome to my season finale for my team series. And today we got the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix around the very new street circuit of Jeddah, and this is my very first time doing a competitive race around Jeddah in terms of my team or league race. I mean, I've done one 5 lap race around here, one 5 lap race around Jeddah, and yeah, so this is going to be a completely new test, and I did get a little bit of time trial practice in just to make sure I knew where I was going. But here is our first lap in Q1, and I got to grips with the track very quicker than I thought. Well, it took me about 20 laps, but yeah, we come across the line and do a 1 minute 25.3 for our first run in Q1, which wasn't bad. It has us sitting 7th for the time being. And then on our second flying lap on the same tyre, we're improving by a couple of tenths here, and we're going to move, not position, we're just going to move the time down to a 25.1, which is a decent start and base for in Q1, and it's the only set of tyres we needed to get through to Q2 pretty comfortably with the car performance where it is now. I'm expecting a big weekend here at Jeddah. We still obviously don't seem to have the pace to beat the Red Bulls and stuff, but I think we can beat the Ferraris. I wasn't pushing 100% in Q1 either, which is a positive sign, because these walls are very close, and I didn't want to put it in the barrier so early in the session. So first running Q2, and I've gone onto the medium compound tyre to see what we can do on a medium tyre. I'm pushing a lot on this lap, a little bit more than what we were in Q1, and going to come across the line and do a 25.7, so a pretty competitive lap, actually quicker than Norris, Bottas on a medium, slower than Perez on the medium tyre. You can see here from the times, we're actually 6th fastest on our medium compound tyre. Ocon at the minute quickest on the soft tyre, so we've got some pace this weekend in our car to win and have a chance. We're fighting for pole position this weekend, so it's really exciting. But I go out here on a set of softs, and I'm 4 tenths up. I'm not pushing this hard on this lap, I'm just getting the lap in, and I've got to make sure, I didn't want to finish the lap if I fell outside the top 10, and I'm the last contract, but then you see I fall outside the top 10. I was monitoring where my position was, so I have to complete the lap to make sure I get into Q3. But we're got a bit of an improvement here on this lap, half a second improvement, so we get a really nice run through the final corner, gain a nice amount of time. So we'll easily get into Q3 with this lap time. We do finish 10th in the session, but time-wise we had a bit of a buffer there to Gasly, and I was not pushing 100%. I was really taking it easy, just making sure to get the lap in. So that actually bodes well for our tyres not being, maybe I've saved a little bit of wear on them by not taking it a little bit easy, but that's a luxury we had with the car speed we have around Jeddah. We could take it a bit easy and easily get through to Q3 for the first time probably in this. I mean, I know I've been to Q3 before, but like, this is like really comfortable. Didn't have to push to get to Q3 I had to push, but didn't have to make it. It was easier to get to Q3. The car speed was there. I didn't have to overdrive the car, for example. But first run in Q3 on a new set of softs, and we're absolutely pushing on this lap. And our first lap in Q3 is going to be a 1 minute 24.8. We're slower than Ricardo, Bottas, Perez, but we're quicker than our teammate Ocon, which is positive. But now we've got one more lap here, final lap of the session, and we're currently sitting in 7th after the first run, and now I'm going to launch an attack on a lap, and just let's sit back and enjoy a full lap of Jeddah. I want to commentate over it, of course, but it is just, when you get the lap on a qualifying lap, Q3, low fuel, maximum attack, it is an unbelievable track. So into turn 1 and 2, second gear, short shift to third on the exit, and into fourth. The run up to, I don't even know the corner numbers, but this little left-hander, you got to get nice and turned it nice and early, and then these corners are all about throttle control here. I got up to 7th, but I had a little bit of a back end step out there and lost a bit of time there, and we gained it all on exit though, with a bit lucky, but I did lose the back end, almost had the car in the barrier. It was a nice save, but this is such an exciting corner. This one, you can throw the car in there, car all the way up to the barrier, and then into this tricky corner. You got to go so close to the wall, fine margins. You see that you feel like you're going to break your front wing when you touch your tyre to the wall, but you don't. You just miss it. And now coming into this corner, this is where we can make a bit of time on our lap. We messed it up on the previous run. and we get through there nicely and gain a couple of tenths, open the DRS, and this is a run to the final corner, and you're going to be brave and late on the brakes into this final corner and get it turned in nice and early as well, just before the 50-meter board, get it into the curb. Got a lot of understeer and exit and lost a bit of time on exit there, which wasn't ideal. Probably picked up the throttle maybe a little bit too early as well, but we come across the line and do a 1 minute 24.4. we gain almost 4 tenths on our lap, and it was enough. Where do we qualify? We qualify in 4th place, our best qualifying by far in the series, with our, obviously the car being at its best. We have a chance to win this Grand Prix. So now what I'm going to do is going to give it to Crofty to break down a race one last time in this series. He hasn't done it all season. He's going to do it for Jeddah because I haven't done it on this circuit yet. So let's go to Crofty for the final time.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hijaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits in the Formula One calendar. It's Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. An interesting circuit this one, the newest on the Formula One calendar, and like most street circuits, it's sure to present the drivers with an interesting technical challenge. Some challenging turns for the drivers to negotiate as well, and at the same time they're going to have to manage their tyres very carefully in this heat. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Thank you, Crofty. So now let's get to the grid lineup for this one, and there have been more penalties to take. So Verstappen holds his pole position with Bottas lining up second on the grid, and now for the rest of the grid, we got myself lining up on the second row alongside Lando Norris, Ocon in 5th, Leclerc in 6th. Hamilton took a penalty, I believe, and is now starting 7th with Gasly 8th. Russell finds himself in the 9th with Vettel in 10th. Lundgaard, Stroll, Latifi's moved up a few places. Tsunoda in 14th, Giovinazzi and Raikkonen. Ricciardo's all the way back in 17th. Sainz has dropped to 18th. Alonso has dropped to 19th on the grid. Mazepin is into 20th. And then Schumacher 21st, and Sergio Perez is last on the grid. So he's taken a huge penalty. The same penalty that Verstappen obviously took last time out in Melbourne. Verstappen was able to get from the back of the grid to 3rd. Can Perez repeat that performance today? But strategy around Jeddah, it is a one-stop soft tyre to medium tyre based on the game, and I'm going to go with that. So as you don't really want to use the hard tyre in this game. I think that's what we've probably all learned. Hard tyre is a very difficult tyre to find pace on. So yeah, don't want to use that tyre, but the medium tyre is good. And the soft tyre is really good, so, you know, we'll see what we can do in the race. And we're going to... Best starting position, you know, based off qualifying and stuff. 3rd on the grid. We've got a chance to win this Grand Prix today. And we have to attack here from the outset. And we've got Bottas on our left. And we're going to see if we can jump at least Valtteri into turn 1. See if we can get a really good start. I think it'd be difficult to get past Max into turn 1. It's really hard to get that kind of start on this game. But we'll see what we can do on the start line up. So Verstappen on pole for the final time in my team series. Bottas lining up second. We line up 3rd, and I am 100% looking forward to my first ever race around Jeddah. This should be an exciting one. So here we go for the 5 red lights for this final time in my 2021 My Team series. It's go here at Jeddah, and we get a much better start than Valtteri Bottas. We immediately move in the 2nd place, but we have our teammate Ocon coming down the inside. Esteban Ocon has made an incredible start, and he gets past us for 2nd position. We hold on to 3rd. Verstappen leads. Hamilton has also gotten past Valtteri Bottas for 4th place, as Jeff is being annoying and talking about my IC after 1 corner or 2 corners of racing. unbelievable. But we have made a decent start to. We thought we were going to be in second, but Ocon has made an unbelievable start to go from 5th to 2nd. So what a start by our teammate Ocon. Hamilton gets ahead of Bottas on the exit of turn 2 because Bottas was trying to go around the outside, and we squeezed him out. But we'll have a look at that all in a second. Verstappen leads here in Jeddah for the very first time, and now we have to just settle into a rhythm, and I've just got to leave the walls a little bit of margin, but we'll see how it all unfolds. And here I immediately am making Jeff quiet. I don't need him in my for the whole race, but I was a bit cautious here on this opening lap. You can see Ocon's got 6/10 the margin, but you can see the gap that Max Verstappen has already got compared to us. He's 2 seconds ahead of us, 1.4 seconds ahead of Ocon. He's absolutely flying here on this first lap. We've got Hamilton directly behind us, a half second behind. So, yeah, just settling into the rhythm of this race. Ocon has a bit of a moment on the rear end coming out of the final corner. But, yeah, we are now sitting in 3rd place. Verstappen leads in this Grand Prix. So here is now a look at the start. You can see Ocon lining up 5th. We line up 3rd. We get Valtteri Bottas doesn't get a good start on the inside. We get a decent start, but look at the launch that Ocon got. Absolutely unbelievable. Norris got a decent start as well, but got boxed in by Bottas, which allowed Hamilton to come around the outside. You can see Bottas coming around the outside. We squeeze him almost into the barrier, and that's where Hamilton slipped by. So what a start by the Frenchman Esteban Ocon. So he's now sitting in 2nd place. You can see Verstappen's pulling the gap ahead. This is lap 3 now, the first lap of DRS. You can see how much closer we are to Ocon here. We're being pretty held up now, and there's just haven't been able to find a way through yet. Having to back out, no DRS here. So I'm trying to get past. Now there's DRS, sorry. It's the first lap with DRS, and you can see getting a much better run with the DRS wide open. Ocon goes to the inside. We go to the outside of our teammate, leave him plenty of space here, and trying to drive right on the outside. And he leaves us enough room. We find the room. And what was good about this move is that Hamilton won't be able to get past into turn 1, so we'll be able to create a little bit of separation. Ocon's going to maintain in 2nd place, or 3rd place, sorry, for now. So now we've got 3 seconds to Verstappen. We now got 2 seconds to Verstappen, so we're closing in on Max Verstappen. We have a quick car this tonight here in Jeddah, and we are definitely closing the gap to Max Verstappen as we come through this long left-hander. We go so close to the barrier, and the car just unsettles, and it spins into the wall. What a disaster. We were in such a strong position, and we make a silly mistake. And look at the gap, though, behind. We've got 14 seconds back to Vettel. So we drop and slot back into 8th place, but the gap between Gasly and Vettel was massive. You can see here on the replay from the outside shot, just the car, the rear end lose it. We go into the barrier. Luckily, no damage on the car, so we survive a little scare here. But luckily, we are still in this Grand Prix as we now move on to lap number 9. And you can see we've closed a couple of seconds into Gasly, and we're just trying to close back up on the front guys. We are one of the fastest cars on the track, but this race just got a lot more difficult in terms of winning the Grand Prix. It was already going to be hard to beat Verstappen in a straight fight, but now we've got even more issues. We have an engine issue, and I could not believe it. Lap 9 of 25, and we have to retire in this one. I was hoping for a safety car, but not in this kind of way. Not in this kind of way. What a disappointment to end the series. Yeah, really a shame. I don't know if the touch with the barrier did anything. I don't think so. It just... Yeah, what a shame. Not the way I want to end my team series. It kind of sums up another failure this season, though, which is really disappointing. Verstappen went on to win the Grand Prix, and what a shame to end the series that way, with a Ver podium as well. So the iconic podium returns for the final time, maybe ever. You don't know. In terms of real life, you don't know, and in terms of the games, you don't know, with Bottas now being at Alfa Romeo. So yeah, disappointing way to end the season. Ocon picks up a 4th place finish. We had strong pace all weekend. Definitely could have fought for a race victory here at Jeddah, and you can see the rest of the results. Perez goes from the back of the grid to 8th, and you can see our pace was really strong. A 27.8 fastest, one of the fastest laps in the Grand Prix, having only done 9 laps. So yeah, a shame to end the season on a low note with a retirement 2 times in a row, once in Australia and once here at Jeddah. So consecutive retirements to end our career is a shame, but it is what it is, and we'll have to move on. we finished the season 9th in the point standings. Ocon moves all the way up to 11th by the end of the season, so we did really finish with a flurry of points towards the end of the year. It was really a brilliant second half of the season. The car got so much stronger, and we really made the most of that by finishing with good strong points on most weekends if we were finishing the race. So finishing 5th in the Constructors, it was a much better step up compared to last season, I believe, when we finished 7th. So, but the car was just much more competitive by the end, and we were able to fight for podiums and potentially race wins, especially in that last race where the car was at. So yeah, a shame to lose this one, but it is what it is. And now we'll move forward and to a new adventure, onto a new game. So we'll be very much looking forward to that. Yeah, but that's really all we have from this game. A bit of a roller coaster ride. I got 2 seasons in, and yeah, we're gonna. I'll quickly have a look at some results here. You can see our season results. Started off the season with that brilliant podium, then had the struggles from Imola to all the way up to really Austria. We scored points in Canada and Monaco, but then we started to turn the car around. When we got to Austria, the car started getting a lot better, obviously, and then by the time we got to Singapore, the car had really improved, and yeah, probably could have been a lot more. Could have achieved a lot more in this season than what we ultimately did. But you can see even with Ocon's results how where the improvement had come along. It was probably from Hungary. That's really when the car really got to its. Really was starting to move forward. So yeah, if we had another season, it would be interesting. I think we'd be fighting for a championship, but we don't have another season, unfortunately, because I ran out of time on this game, and I wasn't consistent enough, and I didn't play it enough, and that's what I want to do on F122. I want to play the game more, and I plan to be more consistent. The game comes out for me on Tuesday, the 28th, I believe. So I'll be playing it as much as I can on Tuesday, and then Wednesday night, Wednesday during the day, I'll try and upload some videos for the week. But then Wednesday, I'm actually going away to Sydney for the weekend, 5 days, whatever it is. And then once I come back, I will be playing as much as I can, uploading as much as I can, trying to be more consistent. And yeah, here's a look at our final stats anyway. 122 points in the career, 1 victory, 5 podiums, with an average finishing position of 13th, a average grid slot of 16th, 10,000 Ks driven, 2 fastest laps, and 1,705 laps. It's a lot of laps. But anyway, for anyone who ever watched this series or who's watching now, I thank you for watching. It wasn't many, I know, but I appreciate whoever tuned in. I appreciate anyone who subscribed to my channel, and I would appreciate if you subscribe for upcoming My Team content for the next game on F122. And yeah, but that's all from me today. Disappointing result, of course. Not much we could really do about it, out of our hands. Reliability, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Please leave a like, and I'll see you for F122. Until then, see you then. Goodbye.